If you ignore this, you could lose a fortune. These coins look normal, but they're rare treasures collectors want badly. This wheat penny's worth up to $662,000. Don't spend these coins. Now imagine this, a penny. Dark, almost black, with strange green spots spreading across the surface like it's been through time itself. Most people would look at it and think it's damaged, worthless, maybe even toss it aside. But what if I told you that exact coin, that ugly coin, could be worth $350,000? This is not fiction. This is happening right now. We're talking about the 1936 wheat penny with no mint mark. And if you don't understand what that really means, yet stay with me, because this detail changes everything. This coin was struck during one of the most intense economic recovery periods in United States history. The country was still feeling the aftershocks of the Great Depression. Money was tight. Production pressure inside the US. Mint was real. Workers were pushing to meet demand. Machines were running hard. And conditions were far from perfect. And right there, inside that pressure, something special was created. This 1936 penny, minted in Philadelphia with no mint mark, carries the classic design that collectors are obsessed with. On the front, you've got Abraham Lincoln's profile, strong, detailed, facing right, with the words, "In God we trust," above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1936 stamped clearly. On the back, those iconic wheat stalks frame the words, "1 cent" and "United States of America." It looks simple, but this design, it's history frozen in metal. Now here's where it gets deeper. The composition of this coin is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. That means, over time, the surface reacts, it tones, it changes. And those dark black shades, mixed with green spotting, that's not damage in the eyes of serious collectors. That's character. That's age. That's proof this coin survived decades of circulation, humidity, handling, and time itself. It weighs about 3.11 grams. The diameter sits at 19 millimeters. Thickness around 1.5 millimeters. Small, light, easy to ignore, easy to lose. And that's exactly why so many people miss it. But survival in this condition, very fine condition, is where things get serious. Most coins from 1936 were used heavily, passed from hand to hand during tough economic times. Worn down, damaged, cleaned, destroyed. But this one, it survived, with visible detail still intact, with original toning still present, with history still written on its surface. And listen carefully, because this is where people make the biggest mistake. They clean it. They see the dark color, the green spots, and they try to fix it. They wipe away the very thing that makes it valuable. The moment you clean this coin, you destroy its value. Just like that. Gone. Collectors don't want shiny, they want original. They want untouched surfaces. They want authenticity. Do not spend this coin, and never clean it. Because collectors, they're not just interested, they're competing. Quietly, aggressively, behind closed doors, in auctions you never see, bids climb higher and higher. Not loud, not flashy, just serious money moving fast. And coins like this, they don't stay available. They get locked away in collections. Held, protected, not sold again for years, sometimes decades. That's why demand is rising and supply is shrinking. And that $350,000 value, that's not just a number. That's hidden wealth. That's a silent fortune sitting in something people ignore every day. That's life-changing money hiding in plain sight. So what should you look for? You check the date, 1936. You check for no mint mark under the date. You study the surface, dark toning, green spotting, original texture. You look at the condition, details still visible, not worn flat. And if you think you have something close, you don't guess. You don't assume. You get it professionally graded. Because that step, that single step, can confirm whether you're holding a regular coin or a fortune. Patience is everything here. Rushing destroys value. Ignoring details costs money. And spending it by accident, that's the biggest loss of all. This coin is not just a penny. This coin is a treasure, worth serious money. Quiet wealth, a hidden opportunity that most people will never even notice. And here's the truth that should hit you hard. Coins like this are still out there. In circulation, in drawers, in jars, being spent every single day. But don't move, because the next coin is even rarer, even more shocking. And what makes it valuable is something almost nobody notices. Missing it could cost you everything. Now don't blink, because this is where everything gets even more serious. This next coin looks even more ordinary, even more easy to ignore, and that's exactly why people are losing a fortune without realizing it. I'm talking about a 1,957 wheat penny with no mint mark. Dark brown mixed with green and grey-black spotting across both sides. A coin most people would toss aside without a second thought. But this is not just a penny. This is a silent fortune hiding in plain sight. And if you miss this detail, you could literally spend over $312,000 like it's nothing. Do not spend this coin. Picture this. Its 1957 America is deep in a powerful economic expansion. Post-war confidence is high, industries are booming, and the US Mint is pushing out massive numbers of coins to keep up with demand. Philadelphia, no mint mark, was producing millions upon millions of pennies. Machines were running non-stop. Speed mattered. Volume mattered. And when that kind of pressure builds inside a mint, small differences start to appear. Subtle, almost invisible. But collectors, they see everything. At first glance, the design feels familiar. On the front, Abraham Lincoln faces right, calm and steady, with "In God We Trust." Arching above, Liberty stamped to the left, and the date 1957 sitting clearly on the right. Flip it over, and those iconic wheat stalks frame 1 cent and United States of America. It's a design people have seen 1,000 times, and that's exactly why they miss what makes this one special. Because this coin carries time on its surface. That dark brown base, mixed with green oxidation, layered with grey-black toning, that's not damage to the trained eye. That's originality. That's decades of natural aging on a coin made from 95% copper, with the remaining 5% tin and zinc. Copper reacts. It breathes. It changes color over time. And when that change happens naturally, untouched, uncleaned, it becomes something collectors chase aggressively. Hold it in your hand, and it feels small, almost meaningless. Around 3.11 grams in weight, about 19 millimeters in diameter, roughly 1.5 millimeters thick. Thin, light, easy to overlook, easy to spend. And that's exactly what's happening every single day. But here's where it gets intense. Extra fine condition. That means this coin survived circulation, but just barely. The details are still there. Lincoln's features still show strength. The wheat lines on the reverse are still visible, not worn flat. This balance, used but not destroyed, is incredibly rare when you combine it with original toning like this. Most coins from 1957, they were heavily used, cleaned, scratched, or simply lost over time. Survival like this is not common. And here's the part most people get completely wrong. They see the uneven color, the spots, the darker tone, and they panic. They think it's dirty. They try to clean it. They try to make it look better. That is the fastest way to destroy everything. The moment you clean this coin, you erase its history. You strip away the natural toning collectors are paying for. You turn a potential $312,000 hidden treasure into just another penny. Never clean this coin. Ever. Do not spend this coin. Because behind the scenes, collectors are not joking about pieces like this. There's quiet tension in auctions. Bidding starts low, then climbs, then suddenly jumps. Not loudly, not publicly, but aggressively. Because those who understand what they're looking at, they don't hesitate. They know supply is shrinking. They know coins with original surfaces are disappearing into private collections. And once they're gone, they're gone. That's why demand keeps rising. That's why coins like this are being held, not sold. That's why something that looks so ordinary becomes a life-changing opportunity. And that $312,000 value, that's not hype. That's serious money. That's quiet wealth sitting in something people ignore every day. This coin is a treasure, worth serious money. A hidden fortune that could be sitting in your pocket right now. So what do? You slow down. You check every 1,957 penny. You look for that missing mint mark under the date. You study the surface, dark brown, green, gray-black tones that look natural, not artificial. You check the condition, details still alive, not completely worn. And if something feels different, you don't guess. You don't risk it. You send it for professional grading. Because that single decision could confirm you're holding something most people will never find. Patience here is everything. Rushing leads to mistakes. Cleaning destroys value. Ignoring it costs you money. This is not fiction. This is hidden treasure, hiding in plain sight, being spent every single day by people who have no idea what they're holding. And the scariest part? One of these could already be yours, and you wouldn't even know it until it's gone.